Okay, so the last time I had sent Josh's wife a message on Facebook Messenger was back in 2014.
Okay.
So what we have is like, for some reason, a picture of a dog, picture of a cat, picture of a dog that says "Ask Madame Tula a question, get your reading." I don't know where that came from. A cat with a Superman costume. Then said she bumped into someone that's like a kind of mutual friend and that it was awkward.
Yeah.
I answered with a picture of a book called "How to Tell If Your Cat is Plotting to Kill You."
Right.
Then
just no context.
Something about like whether or not they were going to your house.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. But then this is where it gets actually fucking weird.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I was trusted with this information or for what reason I needed to know this.
Yes.
But she said, I just realized the volume for the baby monitor isn't on. I said, that's okay. Doesn't look like it's gone off. And then sent her a meme of this little fluffy dog that says, I enjoy the smell of fear. Now,
why did you need to know about the baby monitor?
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. I think I know the context for this.
Yeah.
How long ago was that sent? Was that like...
That was in 2014.
That was Eli's was born in 2014.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty sure at some point, like, we were at Josh's place and the baby was asleep somewhere and Jess was gone for some reason. And for whatever reason, you weren't directly able to be
she doesn't
notified.
trust me to read my phone anyway.
So she sent a thing to Nick. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. It's like we just happened to be in the vicinity of parenting going on at the time, and Nick got caught in the crossfire.
When we were outside the service station trying to think of the context as to which this was.
Yeah, and this was last week, like before the stream as well.
Right.
So, and it was like such a slap in the face because Jess sent me the message telling me what she wanted me to pick up because we were going for pre-stream snacks. I've looked at my phone and suddenly...
Your head exploded that whole trip.
Yeah, suddenly it was just fucking, what? Why did I send that? Where was this coming from? So...
Oh, that's great.
Who knows? Who knows?
So anyway, hello and welcome to the Neon City Daily Podcast. I'm Jamie.
I'm Nick.
I'm Josh.
Dave's not here today.
He's dying.
Making a habit of dying.
Someone dies every time we do a podcast.
Yeah, they do.
He's got a throaty.
I also have some news.
Yeah.
Today's podcast is fueled by, and now I'm the only one having it, our free Pepsi.
I got some.
Oh, is that the Pepsi that... Yeah, okay.
Not even a 24-pack.
Jeez.
Cheap fucks.
Did they send you a 6-pack?
No, it's like
it's
a 12.
Thanks, Peppy.
Thank you, Peppy.
So, yeah.
But look, guys, let's get down to the real issue at hand. Milk. Have you guys tried unhomogenized milk?
Yes.
It's great.
Yeah.
I
fucking
don't
love
know
it.
what that means for
All right,
the
so
milk.
you got pasteurized and then you got homogenized, right? Homogenized is where they take all of like the, for lack of a better word, fat globules that are naturally occurring in milk, and they break them down so it's all like one smooth texture. But if it's unhomogenized, then it's like you've got like little lumps of cream floating around the milk, and they're delicious.
Yeah,
And
that
it's
sounds
delicious.
amazing.
It's
Just remember to shake that bitch up before you use it. Like I made that mistake the first time I had it. I didn't realize I need to shake the shittery out of it. And so there was just like this layer of, I was like, I don't know how to deal with this.
I looked at it, right? Because like our normal milk wasn't there and Lauren grabbed that. And I kind of looked at it and going like, is this bad?
Yeah.
I'm like sniffing, because like there aren't meant to be lumps in milk, right?
No,
What's going on? I sniff
that
it.
would be disconcerting.
It smells fine. Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And I read the side and it's talking about homogenization, and it's like, this changes everything.
Yeah, right.
So that's the most important thing we got now out of the way.
That's the thing that's happened
Well,
this week.
I also discovered a tasty snack during the week, and it involved making it, which is weird.
Yeah.
You get dozen eggs, and you put them on a baking tray.
Right.
Egg bake.
You get a block of butter.
Uh-oh.
So See, I made a look and Jamie made the noise.
And you cut that sumbitch up into like half a dozen pieces. Like you want big, chunky bits of butter, and you put that around the egg.
Yeah.
And then, what was the last one?
This is a 3-ingredient trick from the sound.
Yeah, it was.
Is it Doritos or like
No.
is it fucking
What was it? Cheese.
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 Now, Josh,
And you sprinkle cheese on the whole thing, right? So you got egg, butter, cheese, put it in the oven and let it do whatever oven thing does, and then take it out, and it's delicious.
now knowing full well that you had a triple cheeseburger on the way here, how's that doctor mandated weight loss going?
I am at an all-time low. Thank you very much.
Really? I was less thinking about that and more thinking about the fact that every time he ingests dairy, he fucking creates a new universe with his asshole. And that was more the thing that
I'll tell
was
you what,
running
it's
through my
been
brain.
so disconcerting that ever since I started having vegetables,
That you had proper bowel
that
movements?
I've had like
That's not disconcerting. That's
after a lifetime of having irregular bowel movements.
Eat your vegetables, kids.
Eat your vegetables.
You won't believe what it does for you.
You don't want
Like
to be a rocket ship.
We even went and got like a Ninja, like the blender thing.
Yeah, the blender thing.
I
'Cause-
thought you meant like the streamer.
and
I wouldn't want that motherfucker in my kitchen.
no, I'd put him in the blender.
Yeah.
But no, we got a blender because I needed more veggies. I was like, this is amazing. Like, why haven't people? I think I just discovered
I think
vegetables.
you need them blended though. You're like a
Oh,
baby.
no,
I love the
seriously.
fact that he's like-
Jess loves telling people that the only way I eat my vegetables at dinner time is by mashing them all into potato.
Yeah.
Like boiling them and then mashing them.
This is great.
And it's delicious. But
You should try baked vegetables.
no, I don't like
They are incredible.
I can't have any one vegetable on its own.
You're a fucking maniac.
My grandmother, God rest her soul, loved me so much that she would boil, mash, and mix through Vegemite to overpower the taste of any vegetable, and she would serve that to me for dinner.
That's probably why you shit properly
Yeah.
until you're about 10 or something.
Yeah.
And then it all went wrong
Whereas,
afterwards.
she passed away, and then my other
Oh,
grandmother, her this wasn't to like. This is why she's my spirit animal, my nan.
She just gave you ham.
No, she would, but this is how she always made it. This wasn't to like help me get them down. I loved going there for dinner because honestly, like the vegetables were like the dessert. You could suck them through a straw. She would overboil them, add like a pound of salt and butter, mix it through,
I'm having a panic attack.
bring them out, and like she would just chop a carrot normally,
The monster.
and it would melt in your mouth. It was
Everyone listening at home that wants to know how to get your fucking nerd boyfriend or whatever to eat fucking
Not even your
vegetables.
boyfriend. Like, we eat vegetables.
No, I'm just trying to think of where this, like, what demographic this plays to.
So anyway, I decided I need more vegetables because the mash of a night time was more than I've ever had
It'd be
on a
getting bit
regular
old
basis.
eventually,
But it was
though,
like
yeah.
I drown it in gravy. So it was potato, carrot, broccoli, cauliflower, and that was it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let's Google this shit.
Right.
What is the most nutritionally
Nutritionally packed
dense
vegetables.
Yeah,
I mean,
vegetable. It was kale.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they have like screw all calories.
Yeah,
and
it's like,
a cup.
well, that's why it gets called a superfood because it's calories to the amount of shit in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, tried a bit of kale, nearly threw it.
No, it's garbage.
Can't do that. Need plan B.
Yeah.
Smoothie.
Mm-hmm.
So got a smoothie machine, and now I have kale, spinach, berries, banana, bit of honey for the sweetness, bit of protein powder for the flavour.
Your body just imagining that you're drunk one and be like, oh.
What is it? Flaxseed meal?
Yeah.
Some
yeah,
powdery
that's
shit
fair.
that's apparently good for you.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
chuck that in there. Something that gives me omega-3. I think it's just olive oil. I don't know.
Okay.
It came with a book.
Dude, just that you saying that has reminded me, quick tangent. Our house is fucking cold in winter.
Right.
It is so cold that our olive oil has solidified in its
Oh.
fucking
Oh, wow.
yeah, in the bottle.
Wow. That's
And
So, yeah, that's my
and
breakfast.
that's
The real estate
Yeah,
agent
okay.
wonders why I'm pissed
See, I-
at them.
see,
So I've gone from
okay.
a large hot chocolate with marshmallows and like a raspberry and white chocolate
Yeah.
muffin
yeah.
to this abomination, but makes me feel good and I poo right apparently.
See, I've got something going the other way now. I haven't eaten breakfast until last week. I hadn't eaten breakfast regularly.
Yeah.
For about 8 years.
Wow.
I'm just not a breakfast person. It's not a thing I think.
I
I'll
also
go.
haven't really had breakfast since I've been working from
Now,
home.
the problem with that is that where I work, you have a thing where you can get you can ingest lead dust. You end up with that in your blood.
So you have
For
breakfast.
breakfast.
One of the
It's just-
things, yeah, it's just solid. But one of the things that you can do to combat that is to have food in your stomach all the time, because when the way that it hits is if it goes in your stomach's empty, it
Gets
just heads to your
absorbed.
line and gets absorbed straight away. If it heads in to get food, it generally sticks to the food. The food gets taken away when it's removed. So I had to start eating breakfast, and
Yeah.
I had to start actually eating meals at work, because I'm the kind of guy at work. If I'm at work, I usually I'll eat like a muesli bar or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. I don't spend a lot of time eating at work. So I've actually gone the other way, where I've started having to have breakfast. I'll usually have like an apple and a banana on the way out the door,
Gross.
and that's kind of it. But because I'm eating breakfast, I feel like my stomach is doing backflips for the
Yeah.
next 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I am just not used to putting solids in my body at that time of day, I don't think. So that's unfortunate.
On a bad day now, I have Wheat Bix.
Yeah.
I have 6 in case Brett Lee asks.
That's a lot of wheat
God
bix.
damn it.
That's not a lot of
Eat
Wheat
them
Bix.
dry.
No. Oh, you know, Brody, who's been on the podcast before, when we were in primary school, he would have for recess
Yeah.
A
dry wheat Bix with butter and Vegemite spread on it like toast.
Can I just be real and say that motherfucker's probably fitter than all of us combined?
Oh, he is.
So
Yeah,
it's
but
like-
not because of the wheat bix
So
that he ate.
can we just say I can't condemn
He
anything that he
enjoys
did
a healthy lifestyle
to himself
though.
ever, yeah.
Like, yeah. He's a weird bloke, bro. Love him. His regular exercise and
Actually,
prioritizing things over video games.
jeez, who does that?
I know. He'd never make it in our neon world.
Or would our neon world never make it in him? Let's be real.
That's right. I'd be the
in
first.
him.
I don't know. I was trying to use words.
I'd be dead very quick. I would be the first body in the Neon City graveyard.
Oh yeah, you would have like a ripcord for a nipple
Yeah.
day one.
Oh, jeez. Actually, you saying that, and I don't know if you guys would have anything like this, just because this is very specific.
Sex, yes.
But
I do.
I don't get that, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But okay, because my nipples are pierced. Literally today, I had a moment where I got out of the shower, I turned around, and I saw a bit of a flash of light in the mirror.
Yeah.
And I actually had to say, what the fuck is? Oh yeah.
My nipple's on fire.
And I had this weird thing where I was like, that's on me. And I just forget about that.
Yeah.
Is that how much do you think that would happen if we moved forward into getting
Cybernetics.
implants and shit?
Yeah, you'd
and just
probably adjust.
surely you'd just adjust to them not really existing or
As
not
long as-
thinking about
still
them.
As long
find
as they're
myself going,
installed
oh.
correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still find myself going, oh, I got a tattoo.
Yeah.
Scared the shit out of me. I thought there was a spider on my arm.
Yeah. No, I actually only just yesterday crossed my arm and I went, the fuck? Oh, yeah. So,
Are you going?
Cut this part.
please.
Okay.
Cut that too.
Love you.
Cut that as well.
Talking to my wife. Don't know why the window's open.
I was going to make a joke about it being your mum, but
They both
to my
control me.
cut that out too.
Now keep that one in. Once the children stop
Yeah,
screaming
once
bloody
the
murder, we
children
will
stop.
continue.
Well, they're playing out there now.
Cool.
For some reason, she has moved them.
Well, I'm sure it won't be that disturbing.
What? What's the marker? 28 minutes. Why?
You have a backyard, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
the
got
writing.
play equipment and shit in
Yeah,
there.
I know. Like, oh, why would
put it on
you
the
do
drive.
that?
I can't believe it's got a bunch of shit for them to do out there.
What children just want is open space in front of a window where people are trying to record. Jess! Jess! What are you doing? Go up the road! Go up the road! Yes! I thought that was very clear.
Like a fish tank now.
You know, you need to just slowly slide the thing down, James.
Goodbye.
Just slowly lower.
What are you doing?
No.
That's Nick talking in his dad's voice.
Yep.
We're alone at last.
Why would she do that?
Spite.
She even checked to see if we'd started
Do
earlier.
you remember when we were in the car heading to Jamie's and you mentioned to me that there was more children here than
Yeah, I
usual?
know.
And I went, why?
Yeah. I'm okay with the more children because she did what we agreed, put them in Eli's bedroom with iPads. But now when we start, she decides they can come out and play literally outside the window.
Divorce.
I think it's the only answer. Or we just move to Jamie's.
Well, if you do,
But Jamie's moving.
you know I'm only there for a couple of months.
Yeah. It's not
And
worth
then,
it.
and then you'll have to divorce her. But then you'll probably get the kids.
No,
No,
the court
surely
system's always in favour of the woman.
Yeah, but what if she decides I don't want the kids?
She won't.
She might.
Nah,
For spite.
she won't.
Fuck you, I don't want the kids. No, come on, baby, please.
Take them. Like, I'd take Eli. Because he can shut up and sit down and just play games.
You'd have to take Luca because you're the only one who can get him to sleep.
No, because he may need to be breastfed.
You've got the tits.
But they don't produce a milk.
They don't need to know that.
Oh,
Did you drop
no.
a peanut butter cup?
Eating it anyway.
Yeah, do it, man. I haven't cleaned the floor in a
Goddamn
while.
right, you're eating it anyway. So it's over there.
Don't roll over it.
No, it's not. It's behind the leg of the table.
Oh.
This is a good podcast.
I figure at this point I'm cutting all this out.
Well, that brings back a memory.
Yeah.
Of editing.
I got told once, no, you can't go down there. I haven't shaved for a bit. The comment that I made was, girl, I've eaten lollipops off the carpet before.
We're really sharing a lot of stuff today, aren't we?
That one killed Josh a little.
That was a very Batman reaction of you, Josh.
I I did this thing, you probably heard of it, to Jess the other day. She was just laying on the couch. Nick instantly turned his head like a dog who just heard walkies.
What? What do you mean? Why are we
fucking
doing
walkies?
this? That was a weird fucking...
No,
All right, let's go. We're riding
doesn't
this
have a
train
lollipop
now.
down there. No, I saw it on TikTok.
Oh, God. None of this is making it better, Josh.
Where a guy... So I put my head on her stomach, like, facing her, like, up, her face.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, I can hear the ocean. Because, like, it blocks your ear. Right? And I'm like, watch this. I turn my head, and now I can smell the ocean.
They say romance is dead.
Oh, wow.
She didn't get it.
Oh, wow.
It took her a couple of seconds, and then she's like, hey. I love that woman.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
You play any video games this week?
Are we back to talking? Or,
Let me just eat my last. Oh.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck.
We could probably put that in there.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. I was the only one that thought it was funny at the time.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if I knew it was happening at the time, I would have laughed then too.
It would have been a bit weird if you were there.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind
Nick
of
just sitting on the other end of the couch going,
You're like,
what?
Honestly, that would make it for me if Nick was there at the same time.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm doing this.
I'm doing
Like,
this.
I
guys,
saw
we
it on
talked about this.
TikTok.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Don't look at me.
Well, you said all right, okay.
Yeah,
I
you-
thought
you-
Like I'm ready.
Yes, I've played games, Nick.
We've
you
edited
played-
something out. We're back now.
Yeah. Have you played video games, anyone?
Yeah, I played like a fun game called Organize My Inventory in Diablo 3, so when the next season starts, I don't have way too much shit in my mailbox.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I understand
So
that.
I did that.
You don't do that as you go?
No, I'm an item hoarder.
no.
Like, and because of the limited inventory in Diablo, like you really have to plan ahead for
Yeah.
the next season. Fucking screaming children. And then I also played like a little bit of Final Fantasy 14 because they've
Nice.
got like a free login thing, and
I figured
I've
you were going to jump back to
yeah, I've forgotten everything.
I was reading that that's taken over WoW for the first time.
Doesn't surprise me. It's a
Yeah.
much better
In
game.
concurrent players.
Yeah, no, I kind of figured that was coming eventually. Like, it gets a lot more kind of just general talk time now,
Yeah,
people being into it.
yeah, and so because they got Endwalker coming out, so I guess they're just trying to lure people back in.
So
Yeah.
that's an
Yeah.
expansion, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
And yeah, so I've been playing just a little bit of that, and I'm just like, I can't remember how to fucking do anything. I'm level 60. I have like just these 2 bars just of skills. I'm like, oh, what does any of these do?
You're like me going back to Guild Wars.
Yeah,
too,
basically.
Man. Yeah.
But at least Guild Wars has 5 skills.
Yeah, it's not
Like,
many. It's a lot less.
Not fucking 20. I'm like, but yeah. And I've been playing Guilty Gear, obviously.
Yeah.
And I'm at that point now where I'm kind of going, shit, I need to get gooder. Because I keep going up a bunch of floors and then getting knocked back down a bunch of floors, like almost
yeah, just
consecutively. I was
yeah.
like, fuck, man.
I find that I tend to hit that wall. Whenever I get into a fighting game, I do tend to always hit that wall. Every now and then I'll like have the gusto to push
Yeah.
past it for a bit. But yeah, I know there's always that hurdle eventually where I
Yeah.
sit there and go, wait, I need to have a main. I need to know my frames. I need to blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, frame knowledge is hard in that game because like they don't give you the data.
Yeah,
in
it's you don't
training.
get the data. Yeah.
And so now I'm just kind of going like, okay, I'm at this weird point where I feel like I'm figuring out stuff, but forgetting basic things.
Oh yeah.
And
No, I
so
get that.
I need to go back every now and then and just like go through like training and stuff, just like to remember shit. Like fucking faultless defense. I always forget about that. Where like if you press 2 buttons while you're blocking, you spend meter to basically mean like you don't get any chip damage,
Right,
And you push them away. So
Yeah.
if they're pressuring you in the wall, you
Oh, you
faultless
can like
defense,
pop back
and they
yeah.
get pushed back, and then you can counterattack. I
Yeah.
keep forgetting about it. Would have saved my life so many times. So yeah, I'm just in that weird mid range where I'm like, I don't quite know.
You got to
what I'm doing.
figure that out. Yeah. No, like I said, that to me is something that's always hit me with a lot of fighters, and that, to be honest, has ended my time playing a lot of fighters.
Yeah.
because I get to a point where I just go like, wait, I need to do something, and I just either can't figure out what I need to do, or I start doing it and it just doesn't seem to work for me. And yeah, there's been a couple of fighters that I know I've kind of left behind,
Yeah.
because I've gotten to that point and I've just been like, this is nah.
I am also really bad in Guilty Gear at having good like bread and butter combos.
Yeah, okay.
So
yeah.
I'll hit a guy and they'll reel back, and I could like jump forward or like do like a proper Gatling or some other stuff, or
yeah.
do an air combo. Fucking forget to every time.
Yeah.
And then after I've dropped it, I've like, I could have won that. I could have won that right then and there.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I've hit the wall, I guess, like the skill wall,
Yeah.
where just like my fucking my general
Your general, what can I pick up?
Yeah,
is
my
registered,
usual
yeah.
like how I play a fighting game. No longer quite cuts it, and I need to
Yeah.
start like being more sensible with like my choices and
Yeah.
and the moves I throw out, and also my inputs are motherfuckers because like, I have this thing where like I try to quarter circle,
Yeah.
but instead I do the dragon punch motion by accident.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like I hit the button too early. Like I don't do like motion button. I do like motion button at the same time.
Oh, yeah, right.
So I'm in the middle of a combo and I'm playing as like Sol, and so I want to do the bandit revolver after I do like a couple of hits. Instead, I try to do the command throw. So that I have launched them away from me, and the special I'm trying to do would launch me at them, and so I could just continue my pressure.
Yeah, just keep
Instead, he fucking puts his hand in front of his face and goes like, and I get fucking destroyed.
Whiff.
Yeah.
No,
so,
I get that. I get that. Like I said, I what was it? The last fighter that I spent a really good amount of time in, to be totally real, was Persona 4
Smash Bros.
Ultimax.
oh yeah.
Hate you. I shower, Josh.
I
But
I
no,
miss
I
Persona.
think that was the thing that with Persona 4 Ultimax that bugs me is that like because it didn't come out on PC, did it?
No.
So it's kind of stuck on that weird last gen thing,
Yeah.
like everything else. And with the Xbone being my primary console, they only like backwards compatted so far the vanilla version. Of
Yeah,
Persona
only
4
the
Arena.
vanilla for some
Whereas the Ultimax version actually has the character that I ended up going like, oh wow, no, this is the one I gel with. Because like Kanji was there. He's
Yeah.
my grappler
Wait,
that I love.
who was it that you-
It was Risei. Because I went, oh, I'm going to play it as a bit of a joke to the like whole like,
Yeah.
oh, it's my waifu. But then I was like, no, this works.
I forgot all
And-
about you
and-
playing as Risei.
Yeah, and because she only came along for the next version of the game.
Yeah.
So that to me is just also this other thing where I'm like, that's stuck there.
Who's the big round character?
Teddy.
Teddy,
I played him.
I remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, well, yeah, because they nerfed Kanji, who I was playing as.
Yeah, because he
in
was
vanilla.
fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and I loved it every
was-
second of it.
He was a grappler who had like a mid-air invincible homing grapple attack.
Yes, he did.
He would like the only way, like he frustrated me so much to fight. The only way to avoid this attack, Josh, was if you saw it coming, you just had to duck. That was the only thing you could do. Anything else.
But that seems pretty easy,
You
wouldn't
think
it?
so? However, if you're doing like a special,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
stuck in an animation, and this motherfucker homing jumps at you, and
Yeah,
you're like, "Oh
okay.
shit, I'm doing a dragon punch." Even though there is like fire coming out of my sword or whatever, the fuck, this guy is just gonna go right through it.
Not matter.
Yeah.
He also
okay.
had like this crazy like ground throw where like it had like a lot of startup time, but he had no hurt box during it.
None.
So he'd just be like, and you think to yourself, he's
Just
standing
interrupt.
still. I got this fucker.
Yeah.
And you punch him in the head, and he's like, doesn't count, and then he grabs you
Wow.
and ends your existence.
Is that game still played as a fighter? Wasn't it like
People
as
still
an
play it.
aside?
No,
The Persona,
it's not the mainline Persona game, obviously.
Obviously, yeah, but-
it had a pretty massive community.
Yeah, okay.
realistically. So
he was at Evo.
yeah, it was at fucking Evo. So it was
was-
at Evo without a corporate sponsor saying do it and paying them lots of money.
And it was a tight final as well.
No, it was good. It was close. So
I'm excited because this week I can say I've been playing games outside of League of Legends.
What's
wow.
I've been playing Guilty Gear
Nice.
with Jamie. We played it one or two nights. It kind of my son getting sick through a spanner in the works. Seriously, they have no respect.
I'll admit I was half expecting you guys to stream Guilty Gear on the Saturday night for us.
I would have been up for it,
'Cause-
but I just couldn't
Yeah.
stream with Luca being sick.
Yeah, everyone was dead. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing it on
I'm
my
not
own.
gonna lie. One of the reasons I picked that was I was fucked.
So I've been playing that, and I bought it because I was like, okay, I've been thinking for a while I want to play a fighter. I want to get good at fighter. But then Jamie got really into it. I'd never heard of it. I was looking at other fighters. I'm like, oh, I'll get Injustice again, but I don't know if people play that. They probably play 2. So yeah, got it. Didn't expect to like it just based on the way that it looked.
Yeah.
Which is surprising because it looks amazing.
It looks cool, but to me, a layman with the fighter games, it's far enough detached from anything I've played before as fighters are concerned.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But I love it. It was actually
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah.
Like, unironically, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and surprisingly enough to me, like you went with Naguriyuki as well, who
Yes.
is like a much slower character than pretty much any other fighting game you would have played before.
Oh, absolutely. And
Yeah.
the first thing I said to you too was the way that the animation works is different to anything I've played before.
Yeah.
It's almost like stuttery is not the right word for it. But to me, the initial thing was like, I don't know, slower.
Everything is the way that the animation work is it's all purposefully keyframed.
Yes,
So whereas
yeah.
like if you're playing something like say Tekken or Injustice,
Yeah.
there are
The 3D
key-
models go through
yeah,
the
the-
motions. Yeah.
yeah, there are keyframes, but they're all like the game tweens them all in there. Whereas
Yeah.
Guilty Gear treats its 3D model closer to a 2D sprite.
Right.
So you have keyframes, but you don't see a frame of animation except for like the very rare instances where there might be like some slow motion, like at the very end of a match.
Yeah.
They don't tween.
Yeah.
And like it gives it a very a hand drawn feel.
Yeah. It's very clear cut too in how they move. And so, yeah. Anyway, so it's taken a bit to get used to. I still need to hit a lot more of it, but played that. Needed some nostalgia and like no thinking game to play. So I got Spyro.
Oh yeah.
The Reignited trilogy or whatever it is. Had it for ages. Tried to get Eli into it ages ago, and he didn't really take. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I've got that. I'm going to download that because I was first thinking Crash because you can get the remastered stuff.
I'm pretty sure that the Spyro and Crash remaster were done by the same studio. Actually,
Yeah,
Oh,
they
okay.
were. I'm pretty sure.
So anyway, I didn't have Crash, so I'm like, I'm going to play Spyro. Sat in here for like 4 hours just.
Just going.
But the thing is, like, as a kid playing the original PS1 Spyro, I'd never think to 100% it, get all the diamonds, find all the dragons.
I get that.
For some reason, I was just sitting here going, okay, the maps are so simple, the gameplay is so simple, I need to 100% it. There's no way I can get out of this without 100%ing it.
Yeah.
So that's actually been really just mind-numbingly
Just
fun
go,
in a way.
yeah.
It's
Stare at it,
interesting
yeah.
because Lauren was playing it a couple years back, actually, when it first came out. And she was the same way. She just had to 100% everything.
Yeah,
Like, she's just like, I got to get everything.
Because it's just
Okay.
there. It's like when you pause it or whatever, it's like the menu is very clear. It's like, here are the dragons you need to save.
Yeah.
And so far you have like 100 out of 200
Whatever's-
diamond things.
The thing that I found interesting about Spyro was how like you were saving all these dragons.
Yeah.
And they were all like very different, intricate models. And
Yeah.
as Laura's playing, I'm going like, did they just model these all, or are they like modular or something? Turns out they're modular, but like,
Yeah, okay.
I was like, that was the thing that kept me narrow.
Yeah,
Like, find another
okay.
dragon. I need to see how they've done this.
Yeah, I need to see the other dragon.
And then I think like it hit like one dragon where it was like a reuse of the animation. Like, okay, they're modular.
We're back there. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, all right.
So you've been playing that just to chill out. Then Eli and I started playing because I got the $1 3-month games for gold or whatever.
Yeah, the Game Pass thing.
Yeah. Which I'll probably keep now because now that I remember to go in and see what games are on there, I go, I wanted
there's
to play
actually
it.
a fair
There's
few
so
games
much
listed
on there.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So even full price, it's obviously
Yeah,
really
it's-
worth it,
yeah.
especially with all the EA stuff on there. Do you have to pay extra for that or is
No,
it
it's just there with your Game Pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I realized Streets of Rage 4 was on there.
Yeah.
Got that.
Yep.
Played that.
Great game.
Looked at it and go, this is suitable for Eli. Like, there's
Yeah. Go, hit, go.
hit go. Like, yeah. So we've been smashing that out. Then I crumbled. For context, it's school holidays at the moment.
Yeah.
So I've been using a lot of toil to come home and but it's winter as well. So we're playing a lot of video games with Eli and stuff, trying to spend some time with him during his holidays. Minecraft.
Ugh.
Got Minecraft.
That's
the
gross.
problem was,
It's Minecraft.
no. See, I played Minecraft way back in the day with
Yeah,
some
so
work
did I.
friends. Yeah,
That's-
and I loved it until one of them logged onto the server and poured lava over all our creations, and we all kind of gave up. He thought it would be funny, but we just quit because you ruined it. No, so Eli, when I first, because Microsoft, it's all linked now with
Yeah,
Minecraft,
yeah,
like they
so,
own it.
yeah.
You log in with your Gamer Pass thing. So I just logged him in way back when I'm like, I'm never going to play it. So I'll log you in on your iPad
Yeah, then you're there.
with my account. He's been nagging me to play it. I finally go, okay. And then I'm like, oh, wait, shit. My whole computer and everything is set up
It's
under
linked
my
on your-
Microsoft account.
yeah.
I don't want to have to log out back in with something else just to play Minecraft. But no, it turns out the good guys at Microsoft,
Yeah.
you just tick a box saying I'm a parent or guardian, and they create you a second instance
Oh,
of,
nice.
of like, so you log in under the same account, whereas
Yeah,
most games
yeah.
that go log you out wherever you were
Wherever
logged in
you
or
were.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can just say, no, I'm a parent or guardian just playing with my kid.
Wow. Yeah, good.
Then they call me Valorox 2.
Yeah.
I can join the worlds.
It's just
Everything
like if
saves.
you're playing fucking
Halo again.
Halo, yeah.
Halo 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
Halo 3 had that where you just had to have one person with a live account. And
Yeah.
then you're like,
Yeah, if you're
the
playing
other
a
people,
split screen,
you could
it'd
play
just
it
be like-
split screen.
Oh,
and
wow,
just chill
okay.
out with you, like online and stuff.
So I
yeah.
thought that was pretty good, and then I got sucked in, and we sat here
Ugh, jeez.
for like I love creating things like that. Like,
Yeah.
it's so much fun. Eli's very detail orientated. He'll create a house, and then he'll get up and walk around this house to see what he's missed in his Minecraft house.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm like, that's cool and all, but like, don't you want to build like something big and just ridiculous?
yeah.
Like,
No, they let him keep doing that because he'll probably become an architect.
yeah, probably. Yeah. Whereas I'm here building like a sky bridge made of glass, and my underground lair.
I won't lie. I find Minecraft super duper boring, but it's
Yeah, it can
definitely
be.
preferable to League of Legends.
Yeah.
Like, how's your blood pressure?
Because he asked me the other day, he's like, Dad, when did you say I could play League of Legends again? And I'm like, oh, not for a couple of years, bro.
Never, buddy.
never, buddy.
Never, ever,
Never will I
ever,
leave.
When
never.
you think about it, he's starting off pretty good. He's got Streets of Rage. We played Broforce the other day.
Yeah.
But he kind of didn't like
Yeah, I
the
was
blood
gonna
and
say,
stuff in that.
Yeah.
So he's like, can we play something else? He's like I said before, he's very self-regulating.
Regulating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I was on Games Windows Live or whatever. No, far out. No,
Jeez.
don't do that.
That's a throwback.
I was on the Game Pass library.
Yeah, jeez.
And Control
Yeah,
was
yeah.
there.
God, that's good.
Okay. Nick said it was really good. I remember saying it's good. Downloaded it, played. I'm only up to the bit where you.
So you're going to say you played that with Eli. I'm like, I don't know. That's
Not a
game
good
with
idea.
Eli.
That's not a
No.
good plan.
First of all, I played it and I was just going along like very early on. And then you come out of the door and the lights are off. Everything's red. And you're like, shit.
Yeah.
Alt tab. Look for the horror keyword in the description. Have I been duped? Is this a horror game?
Oh, wow.
Couldn't see it described as like horror anywhere.
no.
So
I like how the moment there's even a slight horror
Yeah.
element.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like,
No.
the light is red. I don't know about this.
Oh,
So I'm like, okay, phew, jump back in, and I am digging it.
yeah, man.
Like,
it's great.
it plays really well on PC.
Yeah.
They've added ray tracing.
Yeah, they got a whole
DLSS
bunch of
is
stuff
in
added
there.
to it like much later after release.
Yeah. So, as a lover of really story-heavy games,
Yeah.
and I figure that's kind of what Remedy does.
Yeah,
Yes,
Remedy are
yes.
great at that.
Yeah. Yeah. I expected it to be fairly jank, like the port to PC, but
Oh,
No, it's a great port.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So,
from what I've heard, everyone's super happy with it.
yeah, I'm not that far into it, but it's the first time in a long time I've gone, oh, I want to go back.
Yeah,
I want to
man.
find time to play that game and go back.
Like I said, I went into it expecting a totally different kind of game. I wanted
yeah.
like a fairly like I wanted a Max Payne 1 or 2 experience of
Yeah.
like go through here, follow the path, do the thing. But then
Yeah.
I
Dream
kind
about
of
Dead
got
Baby.
tricked into this like Metroidvania fucking like, you know,
Yeah.
paranormally thing, and I was like, no, this is awesome. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was fully on board with it as soon as I started playing.
So like it started off with a mystery that's captivating, and any kind of story that I know I'm going to be really interested in,
Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
to Wikipedia it
right.
because I'm so impatient.
yeah.
But that flies directly in the face of experiencing it.
Yeah, thoroughly. Yeah.
Here's a random thought. Just speaking of Max Payne and all that, like we all played that, like, you know, back in 2001
way
or whatever
back,
when that
yeah,
first
yeah.
came out.
Yeah.
But I wonder if now that, you know, you two are parents, if you'd be affected more by his nightmare sequences where he's got the crying baby in the background. He's walking along the trail of blood.
I'm just going to say probably not because I know they're coming.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Like, I've already been there. So
What if I
already know.
wiped your mind with Max Payne and you played it again?
General.
No, if you could wipe my mind and I could play any game again, it'd be fucking The Witcher 3, man.
I don't know about Nick.
There's
but
no crying baby in that, though.
in general, and I don't speak for Nick, but for me, when I became a parent, a lot of that kind of thing with kids, particularly real world stories, like
Oh,
true
yeah,
crime
yeah.
stories and stuff like that, anything like this is funny you mentioned that. Just as an aside,
Yeah.
I was at my desk the other day and I was on Reddit as I do on my lunch break. And someone asked the
He
question
says on his lunch break.
Yeah, I had to add that in. In case Jeff's listening, my boss.
So you're saying you weren't on your lunch?
No,
break?
I'm not, Jamie. Anyway, one of my favorite subreddits is Ask Reddit.
Yeah.
And so someone asked, but I look for the one with the serious tag only, so otherwise
Yeah,
people
okay.
just troll.
Yeah.
And it's like, what picture looks otherwise normal, or the people in it look normal or happy, but there's actually a like it was moments before disaster, or there's a dark story to it or something. And it was serious replies only, so I went through there, and it was just like some incredible stories with incredible photos taken. Like a lot of them were fairly morbid. Like the one that stuck with me was here's this chick who wanted to be friends with her ex and make an effort. So when he invited her hiking, she went. She's like, take a picture of me at the top of this cliff. Took a picture and then like pushed her off the cliff.
Wow.
Just like
You never go hiking with your ex.
yeah. But there was one, and I won't go into details because it's fucking morbid. Two 10-year-olds, for whatever reason, lead away a 2-year-old. So
I didn't know it yet.
in England, and then do a lot of horrific shit to him.
I remember that
before
case.
he dies. Yeah.
Right.
And I was literally like, because I've got Luca around that age.
Yeah,
I was like literally at my desk weeping without even knowing, like, what the fuck's going on here? Like,
Oh, yeah.
anything with kids in it nowadays that I can relate back to my own children in particular.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, it definitely
Hits a lot harder.
Hits more now
Yeah.
than it ever did before. It's just one of those things where you don't register a lot of that relationship.
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
Even if you think you do, you really don't register a lot of that relationship until you are a parent.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And-
it's
and-
still sad
yeah.
if you're not a parent.
Oh, yeah, it's still
messy.
sad if you're not a
But
parent.
As a
but-
parent, it's much easier for you to
Imagine your own child.
Insert
Yeah.
yourself into like that parent's
Yeah.
predicament and
Yeah.
be like, what would I do?
It's that empathy amplified thing.
Yeah.
Where you've got your own stuff going on that
Yeah.
you know relates directly into
Yeah,
what you're doing.
And on that particular case, again, here's an aside from my aside. The two 10-year-olds, because I don't think the courts really knew what to do with them. So they put them in like separate facilities that were both for like troubled kids.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're talking kids that like consistently graffitied a wall or
Yeah.
something, like not murdered and butchered
Yeah.
a baby. Then at 18, they got released instead of going to prison.
and they had like new names and,
And
stuff, right?
the British government have spent like millions of dollars protecting the identity of these 10-year-olds. I understand from maybe 10 to 18 protecting the identity, and then they go out on what's called license, but for them it was lifelong. So it's lifelong parole, basically.
Right.
One of them seemingly regretted what he did,
Yeah.
kept his new identity, he's disappeared,
Right.
living his life. Don't know that I agree with it, but
Nah.
then the other guy got 2 extra identities created for him
What?
because he got arrested twice on child pornography
Oh,
charges.
for fuck's sake.
And each time he did, the government and the courts protected him, created a new life for him, an identity, even to the point where they wanted to send him off to another Commonwealth country to keep him safe. So they approached Canada, who said, fuck off.
Yeah.
New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern, so this is fairly recent.
Yeah, I was going to say it's
said,
recent.
he can apply, but I would advise
I'm
not
not
waste
gonna-
your time.
yeah,
I'm
don't
not
bother.
legend.
Yeah.
And ScoMo said we'd have to talk about it.
ScoMo said like, what's in it for old ScoMo?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it just staggers me. Like, do you not think at that point, if you re-offend in any
Oh,
way,
yeah, no, you're fucked. You stop. That's
the government, you are not entitled to any
No, you shouldn't be
privacy.
entitled
You
to
would
anything
think at
at all.
some
Fuck
point like there would have to be video game podcast, but
It was this issue. The parents divorced of the victim
Yeah.
because it was just
yeah,
what a
I
tragic
can imagine.
lives,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And but even both of them are petitioning to still find out the identity of the
Yeah, they want to know who to
Killers.
kill.
Right.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's
But
Like,
the
I
thing,
mean,
and
if
the
I-
court,
yeah,
and the
if-
court's
Yeah.
like protecting them for that very reason because of vendettas and vengeance and all
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So again, from 10 to 18, I understand.
see. Yeah, that's kind of my.
You can't go out and re-offend,
Like you said-
particularly with children.
Like you said, I can kind of get not murdering a 10-year-old,
Yeah.
but it's just one of those things where, like, nah, if something happens to my kids and it's an adult, I'm fucking ending them, and that's the end of it.
Yeah, and
Like,
I can
how that
understand
works.
the idea, like, we will need to give them new identities, because even when they were 10 years old, people were coming out going like, let's kill them.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
okay, yeah, like that. There's a very big.
Obviously, it doesn't make it fine that they did that when they were 10, but it's just
Yeah.
that thing where it's like, okay, we can't just murder a 10-year-old.
Yeah, it becomes
It's-
very,
it
very murky when
becomes-
it's like a young child
Yeah,
doing such a
like
horrendous crime.
yeah.
Like, what do you do? There's no real precedent for this kind of thing.
But it was interesting because the psychologist, and this is why we're a gaming podcast,
It was like video games.
came out
Jesus.
and said there are 2 contributing factors to why they did this.
Yep.
One was a movie. I can't remember the title.
It was Doom the movie.
No, it was
And it was
because
Doom the
in the
game.
movie,
Yeah.
in the movie,
1992 Doom.
in the movie, the protagonist or whatever, someone gets spray painted blue,
Right.
in a violent context.
Okay.
These 10-year-olds did a similar thing to the
Spray
to the
painted
real,
kid,
yeah, it was
right.
all blue and everything. So like this movie, it was rented a couple of weeks before they did this.
Right.
It must be why the psychos. And the other one was it was is it Mega Man?
If Mega Man is the game that they play,
Mega Man
Is that the blue guy?
yeah, the blue
Yeah,
bomber,
yeah,
that
Mega Man.
shoots lemons out of his.
Is it on
fucking-
Switch or PlayStation?
It would have
Yeah,
could have been on
yeah,
anything.
could have
Like,
been on anything.
Yeah, so there was. I think it was a Mega Man game
I do not believe for a second that Mega Man could incite actual
what-
real
because I read
violence.
the actual court documents,
What the actual fuck?
and both of those things were listed as
That-
contributing factors according
Get
to the.
That's like
fucked.
saying Dizzy's adventure caused me to kill.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
fucking get off my dick.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
That's grasping for straws.
That-
That is a fucking guy that has been paid to give them a reason.
Yeah.
And he's sat there and gone, I'm not allowed to just say they're fucking broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Which is a viable
And
thing.
it fucking is. Like,
Yeah.
people are just busted as
Some-
shit. Like,
some
I'm not
people
going to lie.
are just
amount,
psychopaths.
like, yeah, the violent shit that is in a lot of content is very heavily regulated now.
Yeah.
And if you let your kids get something that's fucking horrific,
It's the parents'
and they
fault.
take that in, I understand that they shouldn't have seen that, but that's not going to break them. They
Yeah.
need to be fucked to start with to think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
It comes way back to the school shooting when they blamed Doom.
yeah, the Columbine where they blame Doom.
Yeah.
And it's just, fuck
Same
off.
thing. Video games have been in the firing line for quite a while.
I bet those motherfuckers at that school were circle strafing too. Couldn't do that in 1992 Doom.
It's terrible.
I'm watching you two process how to reply to that because I just really needed to see where that went.
Oh, I should no.
So, really good illustration for people are broken.
So the first thing I thought of, this is why it's so bad. I'm like,
no.
they couldn't aim vertically either.
No, they couldn't.
And jumping wasn't a thing either.
Jumping
No,
either.
that's right.
But like the
And I know they shot someone under a table, so they had to. They had to point down.
all right.
Oh,
Let's not
jeez.
expand upon that premise.
Yeah. No, we need to leave that one. That was horrendous.
Anyway,
Oh, I completely forget what my
I
thought
was
gonna
tying
be.
this
I
back to video
apologize
games.
to everyone that would have ever heard.
I was tying this back to video games, and just making the point that video games are still, and because this was the first, I think it was 2016 or something that this happened with the kids.
I
but-
don't know the
yeah, I
date.
don't know.
It was,
but
a while
it
ago.
was still a reminder, and the first time in a long time that I'd seen video games in this context.
Yeah, kind of got chucked
that
under
they're
the bus.
still
like that,
being blamed for
Yeah,
horrific
well,
things like
still
that.
being
I do.
blamed
I
for
do remember my
broken
point.
people, yeah.
So, like, any time that there is a new media, that will always be a scapegoat
yeah.
for our society is fucked.
Yeah.
Like, you see it back. Like, you go from video games, then you go like to movies. Then it's like, all right, comic books are what's corrupting
Yeah.
children. Even way back, you can trace people going like, everyone's writing a book. Our society
Yeah.
is falling
Don't know how I
apart.
feel about books.
Yeah, so anytime that there is some new form of expressive art, and I mean, I guess you could even say like, to another extent, like I blame Twitter for a lot of the ills.
I
going on.
actually genuinely do sometimes. Like that's how.
And this is where it gets
Yeah.
interesting because there is a proven. And this is playing devil's advocate a little bit. I would defend video games till the cows came home, but when you take something like porn and people who are sexual predators or rapists, there is a tangible link between porn addiction and. But the thing is, what do you blame? Do you blame the person's addictive personality?
Yeah, it's
or do you blame what they were consuming and then wanted to replicate?
Once again, I would have to say that comes down to the person is fucked in the head
how
more
broken.
than what they consume.
Yeah, so you would go for the genesis of the issue rather than the catalyst being porn or something.
Because that's kind of the thing. Like I one of the things with me is that obviously you look at this stuff and you relate it back to yourself. And so you go, okay, video games. I've played some fucking horrendous shit.
Oh, yeah.
And we all have at one point or another. Like it's just one of those things where like we've done. But and like I started, I think I was playing games at 3 or 4 or something. I don't know. But it is one of those things where it's like I've gone my entire life where I'm pretty sure I haven't murdered someone.
Yeah, yet.
And I'm not a happy man. I do a lot of I'm mad scenarios.
But not once has your brain gone, I'm mad, and made the link between that and the violence in the video game. Going, I should do that.
I haven't gone, wait a minute, I saw this in fucking Quake 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick has never gone like, let me scroll through my inventory of guns in my back pocket and bring out the biggest one.
And it's never been that kind of scenario. And it's like, why? Because my brain obviously understands the separation between real life and video games.
Now, there are some instances where I can understand people going like, hold the fuck up. Where, like, for instance, there was a guy who made a Quake level and modeled it off his school.
Yeah, yeah.
Possibly, just lack of forethought. Just this is a place I'll just model it what I know.
Map,
well, the Columbus guys did do that in Doom.
They did that
as well.
for Doom. They made a map for Doom of the school,
And so, like, that's the kind of thing that, like, if I was an outside looking in type situation.
In today's climate,
even then, like even before, like people would tie games to school shootings or anything. I would look back at that and go, "This is a flag.
Yeah,
this is a red flag.
A bit of a flag.
Yeah,
that's something.
He could simply be drawing on something he's familiar with,
of course. And there have been instances where, like, I think a kid got suspended from his school because he made his class in like his school in CS:GO or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. And it's like, could have been just,
or that overachieving minority student who made a clock and got friggin' suspended for terrorism
that
or
was
some
just
shit.
Flat out racist.
That was horrendous.
Oh, America. Here's a question then.
Oh, no.
When you said, why? Why?
Because I know it's going badly for me.
No. You said that we've all played some horrific shit. Has there been an instance where you've had to look away from video game?
Yeah. Yeah, like particularly when I was younger.
Yeah.
Much like your son, I didn't like any kind of like depiction of blood in media. So if someone bleed, I'd be like, I'm going to look away.
Yeah.
But I would say the most recent instance I would have of that is the modern day Mortal Kombat games.
Yeah.
The fatalities and the brutalities and stuff. Initially, like I was playing MKX, I was sort of like, oh yeah, look, I can deal with them. They're all right. I mean, they're over the top.
They get pretty ridiculous, though. Yeah.
And maybe as an adult, let me clarify, maybe not even look away, but just go like, oh, that's affected me.
But I would say, like, looking at like the other stuff that they've done for like the latest MKG, I was looking at some of the cutscenes for fatalities and stuff, and I just thought to myself, this is too much.
Yeah,
like,
it is over the top. I thought that was the latest one that I saw. I'm like,
I will give you that. Like, I for me, MKX was very like, oh, this is fine because this is what I expect from Mortal Kombat. But then as it goes on, you see more things getting out by DLC and all this other kind of stuff like that. You kind of have that moment of just like, just calm down.
It kind of like...
I get what they're trying to do and I can see where they're coming from. But
things like that don't help.
But every now and then it is realism. It's just that case of like, I get that this is your shtick, but just calm down, guys, for a minute, please.
It really feels like it's just gore porn.
Yeah,
and it's like
to that point.
I just want to have like a cool fighting game. Like, I understand if you do something like
you can still have fatalities.
You can still have over the top fatalities and stuff, but the way that the game revels in it is just too much for me.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Understandable.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't think I've met a point like that in a game that's made me go, nah. Like I said, I got close with like your example MKX because it was just that scenario of like, it's just it just feels like too much.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
Because it's not even approached in a comical way, is it?
No, not now. It's more like, grimdark. And
Sometimes
grimdark is grimdark. You have a grimdark, but
like some of them are like super duper ridiculous. But
Yeah.
even there, so like there's one. Who is it? Like one of them like basically like shoots somebody in the air, like they're fucking playing Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
and they go into like the rotor blades of a helicopter. And and
right.
They
And it
splatter
splatters
everywhere.
yeah.
And like when I initially saw that, I kind of went like, "That's stupid. That's great." But then they hit the helicopter blades, and I'm like, "That's a bit much."
Yeah.
Like just I don't know. It was just
Some things are better
lot.
suggested rather than played out right in
Yeah.
front of you.
Yeah. Like you could still do that. Have them like just bounce on a cushion of bullets. Have it cut to like the helicopter blades. See them go towards there, and then cut down, and just have blood tastefully rain upon the person who killed them. And like that would be more acceptable to me. Like the fact that the game is like, we are gonna show it. Is the thing that I think is off-putting to me the most.
I think that's where their approach to Injustice actually kind of comes into play, because there's obviously they weren't going to do that kind of stuff and fatalities and stuff with DC superheroes. Because let's face it, Warner Brothers won't even let Batman like go down on Catwoman.
You had to get it in there, didn't you?
Yeah, because I fucking hate it. Pisses me
Unlike
off so
Batman.
much. I'm just but it just had that thing where like Injustice really kind of handled that, having big power moves and finishes and stuff, without going kind of to the point where you're like, okay, guys.
Look, there is a move where Batman will fucking like put a grappling hook on like the ankle of Robin, send him into the sky, and then as he's falling, will come in on like his bat plane and shoot the fuck out of him with a machine gun.
Yeah.
Like, he'll just go like, "Blah, blah, 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 blah." And because it's so ridiculous, and you're not seeing literal chunks of him fly away with each bullet, you're like, ha ha, funny, and I feel strong, which is
interesting because, well, even DC in the movie universe have always been darker.
Yeah, but they've also been worse.
Yeah, but they've never gone for gore or realism.
No, they've always,
Well, it's still comic books, right?
Yeah.
They still got to have like,
exactly,
they still have to know in the back of their head, children will watch this.
Mind you, some of the comic books I've opened have been pretty friggin' gory.
Yeah, comics get quite far.
I was going to say comics can,
But like the fact that like, because like let's be real, like children don't really read comics these days. It's very clearly marketed towards adults. Because like kids they're on different shit now. They're on like different types of media and things like that. Yeah, they're on Roblox. But like kids will still watch like Batman cartoons and
movies
they'll watch
By the
Batman
way,
movies and,
is a verifiable playground for pedophiles.
Roblox.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Batman.
No.
He
He won't even lick a vagina. He's not going to hunt a child.
He does have a lot of children in his care. I'm just saying, it's a worry. Put them in the way of bullets.
To answer my own question,
he gives them a stick, though.
I can't remember. I've turned away at movies.
Yeah, definitely.
Things
Movies
are-
are more,
Yeah.
I think,
More visceral.
visceral.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I've never turned away from not in recent memory. I didn't have anything in mind when I asked the question. I was just genuinely curious.
Yeah. I think, what was it?
The thing that gets me is jumping from great heights in video games. Actually makes my stomach flip.
Yeah, I've had
Dude,
that,
you should try
actually.
doing that in VR.
Oh. Yeah, no, I've had that,
It's
actually.
really cool. your tummy goes like,
Yeah. But just on a screen, just like...
yeah.
No, I get that.
I'm not scared of heights. In fact, I love heights in real
Yeah.
life. But in video games, I jump off something tall.
Be careful, you go hiking with your ex.
Yeah, that's right.
Push
Or even Jess. She'd probably do it.
I mean, some of the stories you've told me, I
I'm
wouldn't be
selling a
surprised.
Warhammer.
She says as she pushes you
Yeah,
off.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all Josh hears as he's on his way to his final resting place.
There's
at the
no
bottom
way
of a ravine.
there's no way he can stop me if he's dead. I'm selling that shit.
The only thing I had to look away that I've actively walked away from, and this was in the cinemas where you pay to go and watch something, and yet I had to walk away. For some reason, I got talked into going to see the first Saw film,
Right.
which was in a vacuum was actually really good.
Yeah,
the
no,
first
the
one.
first one was really good.
They had
I
like
liked the first one.
$100,000 budget.
Yeah,
not
something
made
like that.
millions.
They did a really good job of it, to be honest.
And it was like number 3 or 4 I got dragged along to.
Ugh.
And
Where
this
it really
dude-
just turned to torture porn.
this dude pushes a chick into a hole full of syringes.
Oh, the syringe stack, yeah.
And I take needles at the best of times. And I'm
Yeah.
like, nope. Feeling lightheaded. I'm
Yeah,
stumbling out of the
okay.
theater. I'm like, no. So But yeah, no video games.
No, I genuinely don't think there's been, because I feel like if there's been anything that would have made me do that, I feel like I've either kind of like watched it in a setting where I felt comfortable enough to not be thrown by it, or I almost had pre-warning.
Yeah, I think for the most part, like there is a
Oh no, I just told a lie.
Oh.
I nearly fucking vomited and left when I was watching Cannibal Holocaust.
Oh, but that's not a video
horrendous.
game.
No, I'm just talking about Josh with the movie thing.
Oh, okay.
Cannibal Holocaust?
Yeah, that
Sounds
was
horrific.
It was. I honestly,
It's a famously
horrifying
movie,
like
in terms of-
horrific film, but it's to the point
Wow.
where like the dead bodies were like cadavers and they ripped them
fuck
apart
no.
and
Yeah.
all this. other kind of
There's like
yeah.
animal murder on screen.
Yeah, it was like a
Yeah.
turtle literally getting killed and ripped apart by people. and
See,
all
the
this other
most
stuff.
horrific shit I've seen on screen, and I'm on the internet a lot, so not a lot bothers me. But Serbian film.
Oh yeah, you've talked about
I've
that.
heard about
I-
it. I haven't
That's on
watched it.
YouTube. I don't know why it's on YouTube. It was years after I got told about it, and they said just read the synopsis. That's all. Like,
jeez.
don't even do that. But if you want to know what it's about, read it.
Yeah.
I knew exactly what I was going into, and yet morbid curiosity, and I turned it off after maybe 6 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
And felt it was the first time I remember it so distinctly that I felt physically ill from watching something.
Yeah,
like people who gag at smells is hilarious. Like when Jess changes nappies and gags, it's
like how you make her
hilarious
change
to
it.
me.
I was going to say Josh gets her to do it.
I've never been able to feel physically sick over a smell. Maybe I just haven't experienced anything horrific enough.
Maybe you've spent the life.
Maybe
living
even
next
getting
to
your wife to
anus.
change all the diapers.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But the same thing with watching something and people reacting in a physical way until the Saw one, because I did feel genuinely like it, but the Serbian, oh man, that's fucked up.
But yeah, no, I like to see
Cannibal Holocaust. Okay, I don't think it's ever going to be on my list, but I will
don't
make sure
bother.
I avoid it.
Yeah, don't bother.
Yeah,
It's-
there's like very like it's a very low chance to encounter it in the wild.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
okay.
you're not going to find that unless you try to find
Yeah,
that.
you have to be
okay.
looking for it.
Yeah, you have to be hunting for it to find it. It's like swap.avi. It's horrendous.
What was swap.avi?
Let's not.
Yeah, let's actually not
Yeah.
with that one. That was
Okay. That one I've not heard of, and I've
That's
heard of a
fine.
lot of the.
Don't look it up.
Don't
right?
look it up now.
I saw you fucking reach for your
you
phone.
can't sneak picking up your phone off the table in front of us to go
I
and
was
look at
checking the time.
But yeah, no, video games. I've never had that issue really. So
What have you been
that's
playing
good.
though, Nick? You go next.
oh,
I was
geez.
so excited. I got all mine out of the way.
You did. No, I went back to my Final Fantasy VII run for the year that I kind of
Oh,
did
yeah,
annually.
yeah.
I actually saw you playing that the other day. Yeah.
I bounced into that for a little bit there and started my run in that.
Is that a
which was
genuine thing you do yearly?
good. Almost, yeah. And not even on purpose. It's just kind of I feel like it
Come back around.
Yeah, it comes back around. I go, I want to do that again. So that's good. I'm playing the Xbox One version, which is nice because it's got like a speed up time button and
Yeah, that's true.
all this
Yeah.
other kind of stuff. Like it does have some nice like handy features that are now obviously useful now that it's emulated.
Yeah, the PC version has that as well. Like they've just kind of
yeah.
like done like an updated version that.
Yeah.
Is the
runs.
remake out?
Yes.
Yeah. The
Is it
part one
episodic? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Why would they do that?
I don't fucking know.
Because
Don't-
the original Final Fantasy VII was such a huge fucking game
Right. Okay.
that like the amount of shit that they're doing to it, they're milking it as much as
Because they're
they can.
remaking it
It's
essentially.
it's
aren't they?
basically
They're not-
Kingdom
like
Hearts.
realistically, when they brought it up, everyone went, "Cool, you're just going to make it look better and
Yeah.
give me the game." But
No.
they didn't.
We're
They've
gonna
literally
rewrite
changed
it.
storyline components, haven't they?
Fucked with so much of it that I am never buying.
You know what?
that
You
game.
know what I liked about the original Final Fantasy VII?
What's that?
There was never a mission where you had to go and like kill 10 rats.
Yeah.
Really?
They amended
They've
that.
added
though.
that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
That's like an MMO type mission.
Yeah.
See, and the thing is with you saying that too, like one of the reasons why what I wanted and the way they were talking initially was that like, cause they just made Final Fantasy 15. And I love Final Fantasy 15. It's one of my favorite games I've ever played. I've played the shit out of it. I love it. It's great. And I was just like, okay, look, if you basically from the ground up rebuild Final Fantasy 7 and have it play like that with that kind of detail,
Open world
and all that kind of stuff, good. Yes. But then
They went, "No,
They went
bad."
No, we won't do that. We're gonna do this, and then they fucking punched themselves in the cock.
They're fucking weird
And-
thing where they went like, people don't want to play a turn-based game anymore.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Like that's all.
Dynafire.
That's just all Nomura bullshit going. Like,
I was
no,
going
no,
to
no.
say something, but then Nick was very passionate. I won't mention my dislike for turn-based.
No, I get not liking it, but when you're remaking a game,
Yeah, and people do like it for the turn-based.
that is what
yeah.
its combat
Yeah.
system was. Like, you need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
I agree.
but no, Final Fantasy VII, went back and played some more of that, and that was pretty good. Obviously, it's how I remembered it. It's the Final Fantasy VII I
Fantasy
like.
VII.
It's the good one.
You know what you can do with the PC version of Final Fantasy VII is like there's actually like a very active and vibrant modding community.
Oh, really?
They have like AI upscaled all the backgrounds.
Oh,
you can get
wow.
like these like high resolution, high polygon models that can replace everybody.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Now, maybe that's
Like-
when I get my internet sorted. Maybe that's the game that I start running.
I will not lie, it is a lot of work to do.
yeah,
But you could have your ideal version of the Final Fantasy
I was
remake.
going to say an actual version
Yeah.
of Final Fantasy VII.
Long-running game series like COD has had multiple developers. Has Final Fantasy always been the same developer?
Yeah, it's always been Square.
It's always been Square.
Technically,
it's
like
been
Square,
different
then-
teams,
yeah.
but it's always been Square.
I mean,
publishing.
Square did merge with Enix, so technically it's been
Squeenix.
Square and Square Enix, but like, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were just abbreviating it. But okay, so Square Enix was just
They
Square
were
at
two
once upon a
separate
time.
companies.
Yeah, Square
and it was
Enix.
Squaresoft and Enix.
Did not know.
And then
Yeah,
I think, was it the Spirits Within that came out and it fucked up like Square
trashed
really hard?
everything.
And
Yeah,
they're
'cause
like, we
Spirits
need,
Within wasn't very good as a seller. Yeah,
they needed to like, I don't know if this was the actual catalyst, but they had basically both companies were kind of in trouble.
Yeah.
And they went, let's just merge in the one big RPG
Entity,
company.
Yeah. Like it didn't hit them super hard, but it certainly hit them hard enough for them to suddenly have to.
Yeah.
Which one did they base the movie off, or was that?
Nothing.
No, the Spirits Within was nothing. That
Like-
was Final Fantasy Spirits Within was a totally separate entity altogether, and
Is that the one where there's a big thing underground in the earth and
spirits and Gaia.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's what I've seen.
And then obviously they made Final Fantasy VII Advent Children
Yeah.
years later, which
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I enjoyed.
Yeah,
I can see
yeah.
why people don't. It's
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
It's kind of like, it's one of those things where you sort of go, why?
yeah, it's
did they
that.
do
Yeah, it's I get that. It's
Yeah.
the why.
Did you
but
watch
I
the
enjoyed it.
15 tie-in one?
Yeah, I
King's
watched
Blade?
a lot of those.
Yeah.
Like all those anime ones. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
watched it because, like I said, I was heavy into.
Did you watch the trailer for Endwalker? Actually, yeah, you did. I bet
Yeah,
you watched
you
it.
made me watch it. But yeah, no. So Final Fantasy VII, been playing that. It's not enough though. I'm still in Midgar, like because I started dicking around a lot though.
Yeah.
Because I was like, no, I'm exploring.
I'm going to get all the Turtles Paradise posters this time.
And then what was that and realistically, like I've been playing a lot of Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
Because I got the Tall Tales done with someone.
Was the fifth one any good? It's the
yeah.
only one I haven't done.
Oh, really? No, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
well, I went and did it with Dark. It was
You get to
really
kill Jack Sparrow.
I hope so. well,
It's pretty epic though. I'm not
Chicken
gonna lie.
feed Jack Sparrow.
That was a really good final thing. So I went and did that, and I realized how little of anything else I'd done since that content hit.
Yes.
Because as soon as I started doing anything else, it was like, deed complete, you farted in a can. Deed complete, you look to the left. And it's like,
oh, I finally looked to the left.
I haven't
getting
actually
your renown
gone.
up
Yeah,
pretty quick?
No,
Yeah.
my renown's gone up pretty quick. I think I'm like 60 something on the past.
yeah, I
thing
need
now.
to get on it. There's like 10 weeks left.
Yeah. But yeah, so I kind of started doing other stuff, and that was all well and good. But I ended up, I didn't even think about this before it happened, but my youngest kid, he's 5, and he, this morning, was just kind of sitting on me, and I was sort of, I'll just play this for a little bit, like,
Yeah.
like get some renown or whatever, and
Like
kick around.
sitting on your head like a hat.
Well, he was just sitting next to me for ages, and he was like almost osmosising into me.
Yeah.
But he's like, can I have a try? Can I have a turn? Can I please, father? And I kind of got to a point where I'd kind of done a bunch of stuff. I didn't have anything else in mind to do, and I was like, look, whatever. Put him in an outpost. You go do whatever. Didn't think about the fact that he'd watched me play it
Yeah.
So he kind of he ended up
Knew what to
They're like a sponge, man.
collecting all
Yeah.
his stuff from his barrels and getting his pockets full and getting on the ship, and he managed to
Yeah.
pull the anchor and drop the thing and get going.
He's on his way.
Somehow managed to get it immediately stuck on the island. and
Hell
had to get it
yeah.
off for
Hell
him.
yeah.
He really was observing you. there.
Yeah, no, he was doing. He was.
He's like at
following it to
the
letter.
ship is just going on its own way, and he's just at the front, just squid dancing.
Squid dancing. Yeah, but no, he's a very emotional kid.
Oh yeah.
So he had a lot of moments
just like his daddy.
he had a lot of moments like me looking at it and going, "Oh, you're in a storm." I was like, "Should probably check under the thing to see if there's any water." And she was like, "There's no water in my ship." And he walked down there. He's like, "Why is there water? Because it's raining, buddy. It's raining."
Was
so
he
you need to get the
crying
water
because
out."
he's
And he
like,
was
"There's
just
water in your ship"?
No, but I just got rid of it before. It was actually really interesting to just watch how much of me playing the game he'd taken in. Like
You
he was to the
realize that
point
he's
where
a
he could-
tiny Nick.
Like he could load cannons, he could fire them, and all that
Did
kind
he
of
never once step foot in the water?
stuff. No, he kept going in there by accident.
He doesn't have that fear yet.
No,
He never played Tomb Raider 1.
He never played the initial Tomb Raider. But
Is that where that comes from?
yes.
Oh.
Have you ever seen her drown in that game?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Oh, it's nah.
Yeah, they had
But-
they had a very dedicated animator
Yeah.
on that game.
But the thing that kind of hit was when I was sitting there dicking around on my phone, and he's just going off next to me, and I kind of go, "Wait, what's that?" And I look up, and all I can see is this giant kraken.
Kraken.
tentacle. I'm just like, "No, what? How did he
You're-
doesn't even have any treasure on his
You're
ship
like,
for this shit?"
Child, that is your doom.
So I kind of went to try and help a bit, but it was obviously way too late. And but he sat there after he handed me the controller with his hands just kind of up by his sides if he was still holding it, just because he hadn't seen the
My
crack.
world has been rocked.
And so he was just like, "What do you mean? There's a giant squid." So yeah, no, that was an interesting morning actually.
I
just
thought you were
sitting
going
there
to
playing
say
with him.
someone started shooting at him.
No,
And
no, I
because he'd
would've-
been watching you, he just came out with "fucking cunt, you fucking."
No, I don't get like that. I
In front of the
attack
children.
first and then I abuse.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so no, I thought that was an interesting time this morning. But yeah, it just kind of showed me how much he'd taken in
Yeah.
such a limited time.
Yeah,
of
well, kids
watching
pay
me see
attention.
Things, yeah,
Josh is right. They are basically sponges.
yeah.
You have to buy him an Xbox soon.
Oh, Nick's
It's
got
pretty
plenty.
porous,
Yeah, it's like
like a
SpongeBob.
sponge.
SpongeBob.
Unfortunately, a downside to the Master Race is that now that Eli's playing a lot of games, he's on my computer, which I want to use.
Oh, yeah.
You don't mean to tell me that you could easily build a crappy computer that's good enough for your child?
I mean, I could.
I thought you already had, in fact.
No, I got
actually
rid of
thought
all my
you
spare
did.
parts.
Yeah, okay.
First mistake.
He had a really good computer when he was like 2.
Yeah.
Because I had a spare one. And I had them set up side by side here and everything, but I was a bit early.
Yeah. You were.
So no, he's computerless. I even downloaded Rocket League on Switch for him. But again, because he's been playing under my Steam account,
Yeah, he doesn't have all his unlocked.
he doesn't have all his unlocked and bought
Yeah.
stuff.
See, and now this was your ultimate mistake
Yeah.
because
Yes,
you
it
were going
was.
like, I'll get all the stuff, haha. But now he's like, that's
Yeah.
my shit,
That's
Dad.
my shit. Where you going?
I'm not playing on the Switch. Where's my shit?
Yeah. So that's unfortunate.
Why? Because that's my kickback to that actually is that my daughter actually has a fairly decent recent Chromebook.
Yeah.
That I know she can play Among Us and Minecraft and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Because it's just that saves all of my shit.
Yeah,
she's
absolutely.
gonna sit there and she's gonna go, "This is mine,"
Yeah.
and I want to play this, and I can go, "Good."
Yeah. I had one of those moments where I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, I am my dad.
Yeah.
Because he's like, Dad, can I play on the computer? And I'm like, you eat your dinner first. And do your chores. I'm like, oh no.
Ultimately, we
Yeah.
all
Well, I
become our
become-
parents.
Ultimately, we always become our parents.
Yeah.
It's like a thing.
Well, boys, I think,
Our time has run its course.
yeah, on that note, we must away.
We've gone away on much worse notes.
We have.
It's
This is
true.
that
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, guys, thank you for tuning in on the radio and
To this
listening to the
predominantly
Neon City
gaming.
Daily Podcast radio show. Until next time, I've been Jamie.
I'll be Nick.
I've been Josh. Rest in peace, Dave.
Thank you and good night.